Sammy Gyamfi joined us and has begun the discussion on the matter of the 214 million US dollars loss occasioned as a result of the domestic gold purchase program.
Two questions. Let's start with one. Has Gold Board made a loss? Emphatically, no. The Gold Board, even though it is not a profit-making, public operation, has not made any losses. The Gold Board, for the year 2025, generated revenue to the tune of 960 million cedis, a little over that. Our expenditure for the year 2025 stands below 120 million. These are all unaudited figures. So if you look at our management accounts, we are on our way to declaring income surplus. Gold Board does not declare profits, it declares surplus. There's a big difference between profit-making institutions and surplus-making institutions. Now, it's very clear that we will be declaring a surplus of nothing less than 700, 800 million, to put it very conservatively. The law that established the Gold Board, the Ghana Gold Board Act, specifically under Section 42, requires us to publish all our quarterly financial reports on our website. We have done so. Right. And if you check that, you will see that everything I'm telling you is factual. Yeah. And by the end of first quarter 2026, that is by March this year, the Auditor General would have completed his external audit of our accounts. And we will publish all our financials for everybody to see that Gold Board has not made losses. And when you hear people talking about Gold Board losses, maybe they are dreaming or they are hallucinating. That is what it is. We've not made any losses. These are imaginary.
You are buying in excess of 3 to 4 billion Ghana cedis of gold every day.
Yeah.
And you are taking money from the Bank of Ghana for this purpose.
Yeah. And every week, you didn't say
every week. Every week, yeah. Every week, yeah. 3 to 4 billion Ghana cedis, not dollars. Right. And you are saying you have made profit and you have not made a loss.
We've made surplus.
Because but we are told that what you are doing is that you are transferring the losses onto the books of the Bank of Ghana.
Thank you for that question. Thank you. The reason why we've not made losses as Gold Board is that every money Bank of Ghana has given us, we have accounted for it. We've given them the gold equivalent. And we have gotten paid, we've been paid our agent fees. That is why we've not made a loss. But let's go to the claim. You see, when you catch them here, they move here. They say, oh, now it is not the Gold Board that is making a loss. The Gold Board rather is transferring its losses onto the books of the BOG. How can an institution which is not making a loss transfer losses it is not making? Does this make sense? How can we transfer losses we haven't made? What Gold Board has done this year, you see, a child must learn to crawl before it walks. And a child must learn to walk before it runs. We established on 2nd of April. But by law, we took over the PMMC structure. And that PMMC structure is not fit for the purpose of the Gold Board mandate. So we needed to put in place the necessary institutional and operational framework that can deliver the Gold Board mandate, which means new departments, new units, new employees, new systems, new policies, and all that. So our supervising minister...
Including police powers.
Exactly. Setting up your task force and all that. Because PMMC didn't have a task force, PMMC didn't have a risk unit, PMMC didn't have a trading department, and we have to put all that in place and employ workers. Then our minister, to his force, says, you have 7 months to the end of the year. This is the time for you to learn how to crawl. So put in place these measures, but while at that, you can't be doing nothing. Continue PMMC's Gold for Reserve program with the Bank of Ghana because you inherited that agreement under the transitional provisions of the Gold Board Act as Section 76. So continue it. That is what we've been doing. So that program we have been running this year is a BOG program introduced by BOG in 2022. That program is funded by the Bank of Ghana. And that program has always sat in the books of the Bank of Ghana. In 2023, 2022, 2024, when the NPP was in power, G4R accounts did not sit in the books of PMMC or BOST. The account sat on the books of BOG, rightly so, because it's a BOG program funded by BOG. So where from this claim that it is Gold Board that has made an 8-month-old company now is responsible for the losses of BOG?
You talk about Atuforsen says what you have done in 1 year or less than 1 year, it would have taken someone else 5 years to achieve. Well,
it's refreshing when you hear your minister say such kind words about you. He's not always as kind as that, you know. He's always very hard on people like me when he needs his numbers. So this was a very good New Year message for me, but that's fine. But the key point I'm making here is that the G4R program was introduced in 2022 by the BOG. It is funded by them. It is their program, and therefore it sits in their books. Now, that program is a non-profit monetary policy initiative, a non-profit monetary policy initiative introduced by the Bank of Ghana to help them achieve their primary mandate of price stability. That program, any loss under it, is not attributable to an 8-month-old Gold Board, neither is it attributable to mismanagement or incompetence by the BOG. Because when you say that Gold Board has not made a loss, they say, oh, Sammy Gyamfi is saying it wasn't me, but it is BOG. Dr. Siama is a hero. And I'm going to explain that to you. He and that wonderful team at BOG.
Dr. Zach.
They have not, through mismanagement or incompetence, caused any loss. Any reported loss under G4R, if any, is a product of policy design. That is how the policy was designed to come to incur intentional and strategic expenses for superior economic benefits. So we are not saying we have not made a loss, but somebody has made a loss through mismanagement. No, that is the policy design. And it is so sad that those under whom the policy was introduced are now feigning ignorance about the policy objects and the policy design.
Earlier in April of 2024, was it 2025, you were heard to have made, criticism of the PMMC for buying the gold at what you call spot price for their gold for reserves.
Yeah.
And then selling to make loss. Meanwhile, you're doing the same thing.
Okay. You must understand, when I was speaking about the need for us to achieve some consensus, some agreement with miners, for us to be able to buy gold within a certain discount threshold, I was talking about the Gold Board model. I was saying that for Gold Board to avoid losses, the Gold Board will have to engage these miners for them to agree to some minimal acceptable discount. Under G4R, that is not the policy design and the policy rationale. First of all, let's ask ourselves, why was G4R introduced? Once you understand that, you will understand the point I'm making. The Bank of Ghana, Samson, did not wake up one day and said that, look, we want to make profit so we are going into gold for reserves. That was not the policy rationale. Over the years, Ghana has accumulated reserves mainly from the export earnings of commodities like cocoa, oil, and gold, and other export earnings. That has not been enough. So governments have resorted to borrowing to shore up reserves. Because without your reserves, your currency is dead. And without a stable currency, you don't have a country. You don't have an economy. So governments have had to resort to borrowing. Now, when the NPP came into power, that reached a crescendo. Of course, they abused it. And every year, averagely, they were borrowing from the Eurobond market about 2 to 3 billion US dollars. So by 2022, the results were staring us in the face.
They raised a critical issue of rent-seeking corruption conduct involving the one single company that was buying gold for the Gold Board. That is Baja. They said that was the only company involved in the gold purchase program for the Gold Board, Bar Rock. It's explained that they've issued hundreds of licenses, 900 for one tier.
No, in total.
In total,
for all the
cumulatively.
And if you
so
go
there
on
are
our
4
website,
tiers of the licenses.
If you go on our website and you check repository, you will have the database of all licensed buyers of the Gold Board.
Right. And the claim that was made, particularly by the opposition and including on social media, that the Bar Rock Company was incorporated in 2025 for this particular purpose, rent-seeking conduct. He's brought the incorporation document. We have seen it. We've shown you on our television. It was incorporated on the 14th of January 2015 and not 2025. And over the years, it has worked with the PMMC. This was the first license it procured from the issued by the PMMC. The license that just went past that you saw. That was the first license given to it by the PMMC in 2016. So, what he's sought to do in the Bar Rock matter is to sort of bust all the myths, all the misinformation or disinformation that's been put out there. And the fact that Bar Rock, within a particular tier, as an aggregator, is the only one that qualified because of all the criteria they have to meet. It was the one that met the guarantee required, financial guarantee required, in excess of 2 billion Ghana cedis to be able to receive that license to work. So now let's progress to an important part.
Just one second. I left this very important. Baja Rock is also registered in Liberia and licensed to trade gold in Liberia. And this is his 2018 gold trading license from Liberia. Kabiru can have a look.